What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the AEW Dynamite post show. We're here each and every single week chatting some AEW, and it is Wednesday, September 3rd. Reg, how are you?
It's your favorite rapper, your favorite writer, your favorite podcaster. It's Wednesday night. I'm doing great, Denise. I thought that was a super fun episode of Dynamite. I love the episodes that fly by because it's just action on action on action. And I love that we talked about it, they switched up the format a little bit, Denise. It started how it usually ends, and I liked it.
It felt like a continuation of what we had seen from the week before. It was like, okay, we're not done with this drama. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep going out there and we're going to keep fighting out. But this episode did fly by so fast. We
Yeah.
were talking and you were saying, oh, this episode's going by so fast. And I look at the clock and an hour was already down. And then all of a sudden I blinked and they've said, oh, hey, the main event, it's up next. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, the main event already? This flew by, man. But before we get into Dynamite, we do got to get into some pretty big news that went down with AEW. It's really been the talk of the town the entire day. And as you can imagine, the conversation has pretty much gone off the rails. And that is that AEW made All Out. They pushed up the start time to an earlier start time. So they are now airing at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. So they're not necessarily going head to head with WWE. However, because AEW does have these long shows, there will be some crossover. So just to kind of put into perspective, it's 12 p.m. West Coast time that All Out will start, and then Wrestlepalooza starts at 4 o'clock West Coast time. So just to kind of give people an idea, there's about 4 hours in there, and everyone knows that AEW shows are longer than 4 hours. So,
Facts.
Reg, how did you feel seeing this news? Initial reaction, and what do you think this means for AEW, and what does it say?
My initial reaction was, of course, I figured it was coming. Soon as WWE started, soon as they announced it, it was going to be ESPN, and they started loading up the show. I was like, my that was my initial thought. But then I was like, Denise, how much is this really? How much would going head to head really affect either? I think both. If you, at this point, you're gonna watch either one. You were locked in. Like AEW fans are gonna watch All Out, and WWE fans are gonna watch the WrestlePalooza show. And I don't know if there's a giant amount of crossover that would have been affected if they didn't go head to head. I don't know how the business end of that stuff would work. But I mean, if you're having a big show, Denise, like AEW is, All Out's one of their premier yearly shows. You want all eyes to be on you. You want no distractions. You don't want someone to be able to change the channel or look at YouTube and they say, oh, this is happening on the other show, and somebody to flip to that. So you want to be in your own time slot. So I understand why they did it. A lot of people think they were bullied out of the position. We talked about it on the watch along of WWE came with this big, they're loading it up, Denise. It's going to be like, I mean, it makes sense. It's their first ESPN show, but it's going to be like a WrestleMania caliber event with what they're bringing here. AJ Lee was a lot of talk today. So like, it sucks that they have to do that, but it's okay in the end with it being afternoon show. And I think a lot of people I've seen are fully into the afternoon show. So if they would have just came out of the gate with this, Denise, we're going to do this show at noon, it would have hit a lot different. But feeling them being forced into it, it kind of feels like a little bit icky. You know what I mean?
However, if we had known this entire time that it was going to be a noon show, WWE would have totally put on NXT No Mercy,
That's the
would have
thing.
probably been on the 20th instead of when it's supposed to happen, which is the 27th. So, either way, if even we would have known this for a long time, they were going to find a way to put something up against AEW.
Yeah, that's how I feel too, because there was some talks today of like, well, if you just move AEW permanently to noon, then everything will be fine. There'll never be crossover. And I'm like, well, they're gonna put an NXT show there every single time. Like they're never gonna fully have their own slot. Like even now, I think there's too much time. What is it like the third today, and we have until the 20th. Like they still might put an NXT show on there. Like I don't like people are like there's not enough time. I'm like not enough time for whom? I'm like these people can
Maybe
do this in 2 weeks.
they'll probably just do a really, really long pre-show, which is what they've already been doing.
That's true.
Maybe
You're
just a
very
match
correct.
that pre-show. There's a possibility they could do that if they wanted to. That's something I can think of. I don't
That's
know.
right.
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe they're already taking this as a win. Maybe they're already thinking, hey, we got them to move their times. Ha ha.
There's already a disturbance. They did something. They got a reaction, and that could probably be worth something. Like they know, like AEW knows something is going on, and WWE is laughing in the back, like, yeah, we got your ass. So it's going to continue to be this. This isn't going to stop. I see a lot of people being like, well, this is the war that AEW wanted. And it's like, not really, but I understand what you guys are saying.
Look, it gets crazy in there. All I know is it gets crazy. I post it because you know me, I do my little news videos and I post them up on social media. I was just seeing my notifications was just people fighting with other people.
Yeah.
And I just let it be. I'm like, you're commenting. This is great. I get more interaction on my posts. So maybe more people will see this video. But it's just that's where we're at. Where I mean, and we've kind of always been like that when it comes to pro wrestling. When you see any companies go head to head, it's just that right now we live in a world with social media, and so much of it is amplified even louder. And it feels it's. But here's the thing: is that sometimes it feels, and maybe I live in a bubble, Reg.
You do.
Sometimes it feels, no, hold on, hear me out on this one. Sometimes it feels like you're either only a WWE fan and or only an AEW fan. But I feel like I interact with so many people, except you, Reg. I interact with so many people that like both, that watch both. You have no idea how many times I go and I chat with people and they're like, oh, yeah, so and so thoughts about WWE. And I'm like, okay, this person's probably just a WWE fan. And then they're like, so and so AEW. And I'm like, oh, okay, this person watches AEW too. It happens all the time to me.
Yeah, I think it is because you live in a bubble, because I never see that. The only thing I ever see is you're either extreme WWE fan or extreme AEW fan. There's no in between. You like love one and hate the other. Maybe it's because of how I be talking, but that's all I ever see. I wish I saw people living in harmony and being like, let's celebrate all this happening, but I never see that.
See, you get the energy that you put out, Reg. You're putting out negative energy. You're going to get negative energy.
I'm putting out positive energy and I'm trying to receive the same. But yeah,
Okay.
we're at a crazy place in time, Denise. And like, I think like another initial thought I had was like, well, good for my friend. I'm like, Denise will be able to do 2 shows and not too much crossover. So it's like, it's working out for somebody.
Right, exactly. No, it was so my initial reaction. My initial reaction was I had 2. One was yes, that was my reaction for me because I thought, oh my god, I can watch both.
Yep.
At least there's not. So I was gonna be stressed, and you got to understand, I was legitimately almost crazy psycho person gonna do 2 streams. I mapped it out in my head. I was thinking about how that would visually look and how that would work. And there was just too many ways that it was not going to work. It's possible, but it wasn't going to be great. Right. So, but that's what I was at. And that's what I was thinking about. And so when they made this announcement, I was so freaking happy because I no longer had to worry about that. Now, of course, there's still going to be that crossover and this does change our normal format, but whatever, we can make it work and we will make it work around here. But here's the other thing is we were talking a couple weeks ago, Reg, you and I and the group chat, and I even asked this question on Twitter too. We were talking about best wrestling time zones, like who gets it the best. And I'm still on the side of West Coast. We get it the best, but I got to shout it out to the East Coast right now because they're going to get a 3:00 AEW pay-per-view. That to me is a great freaking time where it doesn't feel so early. I just woke up. You're able to do a couple of things before 3:00, but it doesn't end so late to where you got to go to sleep at 2 a.m.
Right. Totally. Like sometimes when when it begins at 10 a.m., it's like, I like it. This is fun. I'm going to have the whole day. But also, like, immediately waking up and talking about wrestling for 6 hours is something. It takes something to do that. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't be mad at the day beginning and getting up and drinking coffee and looking outside and not like open my eyes, take a shower, and get to talking about slam. So
right. So by the way, whatever I decide to do, I'm going to call it I'm going all out on Streamapalooza.
Dun 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 dun.
Ta-da! Well,
dun.
wait. No. I got the perfect sound effect for that. Ready? Oh, that sounded horrible. I'm so sorry to the audio listeners.
Ribbit.
You know what? I think we need to keep that only for the watch along. It does not sound pleasurable on the
Mark
podcast.
Briscoe. That's Mark Briscoe's thing for his froggy bow, and that's it.
That's it. That's the only time we can play it. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get into some of these super chats and see what the people are thinking about what's going down, what went down on this show. We got Mike T90K. Mike, thank you so much for the love. He says, this match is the best example of why Chris Jericho needs to go back to WWE. He'll always be the GOAT, but he can't take TV time away from matches like this.
Oh, and needs to go back to WWE. I thought it said need to come back to AEW. I was like, what, dude? You saw that match and you want Chris Jericho back? But I was reading wrong. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it.
But here's the thing, though, is that even when Jericho was on TV, we were still getting matches like this. I just think that it was the learning tree stuff that like stunk up the place. It stunk up the joint.
Yeah, it's left a little bit of sour taste in our mouth on Jericho's legacy, and he's being judged by that, Denise. A lot of people are like, that learning tree stuff was garbage, and they're like, it was, but like Jericho represented a lot more for this company for a while. I don't want him to come back and do the learning tree bit, but I'm just saying.
Do you know how many times I would say when people would say, who's your favorite wrestler? And I'd be like, well, Chris Jericho, but not the learning tree stuff. I had to add, but not the learning tree stuff. It got so bad that I was embarrassed. Everybody be like, who's your favorite wrestler? I don't have one.
It was bad. It was bad promo work. We haven't, not being bogged with 20-minute promo segments has helped a lot in AEW, I think.
For sure. We got Luke Thornton here who says Kevin and Kyle deserve the spots absent by Swerve. Well, here's the thing, man. I'm a big fan of both of these guys, and now it's a time for them to, work their way up. Kevin is going to have a little bit of a harder time, I think, because he's in a tag team, so he's not going to have that light shining on him the way that a singles guy does. Kyle, right now, this is his chance. This is the moment for him to take the dance floor, rock everybody out, and really, really steal the spotlight to be one of those guys that at the end, by the time that Will Ospreay comes back, by the time that Swerve comes back, we should be seeing and speaking of Kyle Fletcher in a much higher, more meaningful spot on the show. It shouldn't just be like one or two people. No, it should be the collective whole of the AEW fan base.
Yeah, this show today, Denise, felt like an indicator of what Kyle Fletcher is going to be into. I hope so, at least. Seeing him interact so much with Hangman Adam Page, the world champion, and how the crowd was interacting on the show and how we were interacting on here and the chat of like, that's a match we want to see. Like Luke is describing here, when people were saying, who's got to follow up Ospreay, who's got to follow up Swerve, most people were saying Kyle Fletcher's right there. Kyle Fletcher's the guy. And I think that they have an amazing one-on-one match with Kyle and Hangman, like in their arsenal. And a lot of what we saw today reassured it for me. So like, this could be his next opponent, which I think will be great, because I don't think Kyle Fletcher needs to win the world championship right now, but he needs to be a contender for it and continue to be one moving forward.
He needs to be on the list. He needs to be on the top 3 list. He's not there yet, but that's fine because right now he's doing his thing with the TBS championship. Like, he's good. Like, where he's at right now is a perfect spot. Yes. He's got gold. He's got big matches. And he took out Kenny Omega today, which now the second that I saw that, I thought, oh my God, first of all, does this mean Kenny Omega is out for the time being? Because it did look like they were writing him off. Unfortunately, Kenny Omega just came back, but this does look like a write-off, and it looks like a, hey, when you're better and you're going to be able to come back, then you got to obviously get your revenge on Kyle Fletcher. I hope to God we do see Kyle Fletcher and Kenny Omega, because then that would mean Kenny Omega is good to go. But I think for the most part, we all know. And what was it? Last week, Reg? Was it last Friday when Dave put out that story about Kenny basically being in pain, and Kenny retweeted it and was like, aren't we all somehow in pain? You know, kind of making a little bit light of the situation. But we've known for a while, this is not new information, that Kenny really, you know, he's a wrestler that went full throttle, man, to 15 out of 10. Like, he worked so hard. His body went through so much damage. And unfortunately, right now, he's probably, you know, feeling it even more so.
That's what's always funny about the Dave stuff, because Kenny, that's why Dave be getting a bad rap, because Kenny was like making a joke of being like, oh no, aren't we all hurt? But then he immediately was wrote off the next week. So I'm guessing Dave Meltzer was right, and nobody's going to go back and be like, Dave was right, because that's not how this works. Just want to add that in there. But yeah, I think that at this point, it's unfortunate that Kenny has to go out, because like you're saying, Denise, he just came back. And when we went through the short list of people we think could replace these guys, Swerve and Ospreay, we've been talking about, we're like, oh, well, Kenny Omega's here. He'll be able to fill that void. Anything that he was involved in the last couple of weeks, we're excited about, whether it be him and Hangman as a potential tag team. The stuff that they had with Young Bucks was great. Him and Kota Ibushi doing something. I was under this impression for a couple months now that he was going to be the one to defeat Okada for the international, what is it called now?
The Unified Championship.
The Unified Championship. They need to defend that more.
Come on, Reg. I thought you were a sicko.
Defeat Okada for the Unified Championship. But now, Denise, I'm like, that's not on my radar at all. All the interactions that we had with Okada, seems like he's going for Takeshita, and it seems like they're setting that up to be the thing in motion. And Takeshita could potentially be the one to beat Okada. But it just feels bittersweet, I think, because like, if Kenny Omega said today, I'm done, like I'm retired, it's over for me, his resume is fucking hard. Like, he got who many consider like the greatest wrestling match of all time. Like, his shit is flawless. Like, he's fine. Like, he could be proud of what he's done. But I just don't want that to be the thing. I think he has so much more to give. I think there's still a lot in AEW that he needs to accomplish, just because he not that he needs to accomplish, that I want him to accomplish, just because a lot of times in AEW he's been out with injury and he hasn't really got to sink his feet into a world title run or like something like that. And I think there's still some boxes that need to be checked. But also, if he's like, I'm done, you got a Hall of Fame resume. So
I don't think any of us would say no to another Kenny Omega AEW World Championship reign.
No.
Anything, really. And I was with you, man. I think a lot of us thought that the writing on the wall was going to be him defeating Okada. And I remember when they had their match together and he didn't defeat Okada, that was our first indicator right there that maybe
was like,
he
whoa.
wasn't. Right. Maybe he wasn't fully ready to go and have like a full championship run, because I think we all thought that that was going to happen. You mentioned Takeshita. They have been, even today, they did I think it was Renee, right? She did an interview where they brought up the tension between Okada and Takeshita. So I'm hoping that's the direction they go right now. Takeshita, I think, is in a really great spot. He's been somebody that we've been advocating for a very long time, because he's a really fucking good wrestler and he looks great. All of it. I think he can be that guy eventually, and maybe he already kind of is on the verge of being that guy. But yeah, it definitely sucks though about Kenny, and it bums me out. But the other thing I do want to mention though about this topic, because we're still on the topic of Kyle Fletcher, was the interactions that he had with Hangman. Last week, you and I, Reg, we were talking about how we would love to see Hangman in a feud with Kyle Fletcher, but we were talking about him having his own thing right now. Dude, those moments with Hangman and Kyle in this 8-man match today, it felt electric. It felt like, hey, there's some, that's a door I want to open. I want to walk through that door and see what we get out of that.
Yeah, there was a bunch of, when they announced this match, I'm like, there's a bunch of combinations of this that I'm looking forward to seeing. I think a lot of these guys, I'm excited to see them interact with each other. As soon as Hangman and Kyle like looked at each other, it was like, oh yeah, that's it. Like, that feels like it. Anytime that they were wrestling in the match or interacting, I was like, oh, these guys, it feels like something is there and they need to expound on it. Like, there's a bunch of contenders that could be set up for Hangman going into it, but like a heel that's badass, that's trying to burn the world down, that's ready to be champion if given the opportunity, is Kyle Fletcher. Like, he's so into what Hangman needs for his run is he needs to be up against some unbeatable look like guys that are just on fire, ready to take his championship. And that's what Kyle Fletcher represents here. I think him taking Hangman out with the brainbuster on the chair and kind of showing him that, like, look, I'm on your ass, dude. I could take that championship. I want a title shot. I think it was great for Kyle. Like, you leave this show being like, oh shit, Kyle Fletcher is one of those ones. He could potentially be the AEW World Champion very soon.
I think so too, man. I really do think so. All right, we got Grapple Geekery here who says D Riders in the mud, Callis family are top heels. I mean, look, I don't boo. I mean, look. How do I word this, Reg? How do I word this?
Careful.
Okay. I think for me, there's a little bit of go away heat with the Death Riders. Whereas I know, Reg, don't die on this pod, but with Don Callis family, I love to boo, but there are so many talented guys in there that I'm like, I can't wait for you to keep climbing up that roster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Josh Alexander tonight in this match was fucking killing it. Like, he was on fire. Like, he took control of a part of the match to be like, okay, I could be the leader of Don Callis family. Like, I know we got Kyle Fletcher, but there's also me who is hooping. Yeah, they got so many like super talented hoopers, and like, not taking anything away from the D Riders because all those guys are great, but like Takeshita, Kyle Fletcher, Josh Alexander, Okada, like, these are like heavy hitters, some of the best wrestlers in the world. It just hits a little bit different, and I think they just feel a different kind of role. Last week, Don Callis making that proclamation to Hangman of like, any of these guys could maybe beat you. Like, I got a hardcore murderous rows of guys that could beat you for that championship, and Kyle being the first one to try to jump out there, I think it's great. Yeah, it's funny because wasn't there a time where Don Callis had go away heat, Denise? Like, I think
Don Callis himself has had go away heat. I think now people just love to be like, fuck Don Callis.
There
and
was
it's so fun to say that.
Him and his crew, people were like, oh, not them again. And it's not like that. Now it's like, oh shit, we want Don Callis.
Because they have good wrestlers.
What about the ones in the past? Who are the people mad at?
I don't even remember who was in Don Callis family before.
But yeah, things have totally changed. And
because he stole all the spotlight. Like, people were not even talking about the family. They were just talking about him.
Credit to him, though, because he hasn't changed very much. He's still Don Callis. He's still talking. He's still doing his thing. But something is different. Like, it's more emphasis on the guys in their group and not him.
Right. All right. We got Perfect Plex here who says Kenny's experiencing too much pain in real life. This will give him a break. Yeah, man. And again, this is not an easy sport to do, as we all know. Like, these people are putting their bodies on the line. Kenny's gone and done several long matches,
hour-long matches, hour-plus long matches.
It's we were talking about this with like Will Ospreay, right? Like, these wrestlers that have these just like stupendous track records and reputations for their good matches, and it's a price you pay.
I mean, Kenny Omega and Okada did a top rope dragon suplex before. Like, there's so many crazy, scary moments that like we'll be able to watch for the rest of our lives and look back in the history books, and they changed professional wrestling. But like, those were real humans doing these crazy feats. That was a real man moonsaulting off the top of a building, or being dropped on his head, or being knocked unconscious, or any kind of those things. And so those were eventually going to catch up. They revolutionized the business, but the way that they did it was in an insane way. And Dynamite, and the way that AEW has came in, I think has played a big part of it too, Denise, because we didn't used to see it every Wednesday night. We didn't see it on a weekly basis. Like, if they did it in New Japan, they have a pretty hectic schedule, but it was a little bit spaced out. Now it's like, oh, next week I'm going to do another hard match, or the next week is going to be that again. So the schedule has increased, and the wrestling is 500 miles per hour in every match. So it's going to continue to kind of be like this. You're going to see guys adjusting to this. I think Will Ospreay is going to be not a completely different wrestler, but he's going to be a different wrestler when he comes back.
We got Kingslayer 54 here who says, Denise, can you confirm, are the rumors true you will shave your head on Fightful on the hump? Jesus Christ, what is happening over there?
Yeah, what kind of rumors are started that Denise, of all people, is going to cut her hair for this?
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to shave my head, put on a white t-shirt, some jeans, and then I'm going to join the D Riders.
Oh, that's going to
I mean, I already got the D in the name, so might as well go for it, right?
Denise and the D Riders, baby. Dee and the D Riders. That sounds like an old school band or something.
Dee and the D Riders.
Dee and the D Riders.
And we're like, she bop, you know, doing those little cute boppy 50 songs.
Totally, yeah. And you have like on like a little 50 skirt with a white
dress,
top on,
little pearls,
white
like,
long socks.
Dee wants some love. Dee wants your love.
Dee and the Death Riders, you guys.
Go.
Give it up for them.
All right, we got Sleaze Boy. Thank you, Kingslayer. We got Sleaze Boy here who says, released my Rate My Unethical Booking compilation on my YouTube. The creator that gave me permission to use her clip. Also, for your birthday, Denise, you should challenge Juana Barraza. Okay, first of all, shout out to Sleaze Boy for getting his promo in here. And then I don't know who Juana is.
Oh, me neither.
Okay, I wasn't sure. So I would hate to challenge someone that I do not know, unfortunately. But thank you so much, Sleaze Boy, and for sharing your unethical booking with the entire world. Very cool.
Check it out.
All right, we got Infamous Radio Loco here. Says, have a great night, Kelly Connect fam. Fun watch along and Dynamite per usual. Wrestling this weekend, and I got my Raiders Sunday. Good luck, Mr. Denise's Jets. Yeah.
Football's back.
Oh, yeah. That means I'm going to be like forgotten about, which is great. So
it's over for you. It's all the way over for you. Nice knowing you.
Exactly. Like us wives, we got to take, unless you're interested, we most likely take a back seat.
Yeah.
But that's also...
You can start getting like your errands. Like you get to like your husband's going to be able to
run errands.
You know what he's going to be doing for like 7-8 hours on Sunday. So like you can, get your life together on Sundays.
It's always so sad though, because he always starts the season hopeful with a little smile. And then like within 10 minutes, I walk past the living room and he's sitting there like this.
It's over. Yeah.
Just his soul is taken out. And I'm just like, already? First game? Damn.
Already?
I tell him, I'm like, so we make like, I started to do like little good luck things for him so the Jets could pick up some win. We're at that point, right? I'm trying to come up with some like,
they're
things,
harnessing
like
experience. They're doing black magic and shit.
I bought him a candle and I'm like, light your candle when the Jets like. So it's a candle that says, what does it say? Something about it's a Jets candle and it's like praying for a win. God. He hasn't lit the damn candle. He says he's saving it. And I'm like, at this point, there is no saving it. Over. Light the damn candle.
Yeah, you gotta
I made him a bracelet. I made him like 2 bracelets for the Jets that say like "Go Jets," and I've told him put your bracelet on.
Go Jets.
I'm like, maybe it'll bring you some good luck.
You gotta try it, Denise. That's at least you gotta, as a wife, just helping him out. Here's a candle. Here's a bracelet. Here's something. Yeah, that's all you can do.
Exactly. He also has the Jets hat where it's an actual jet, and I tell him put your hat on. I literally want him standing there with his hat, his glasses, and his candle.
Listen, you're just trying, and as a wrestling fan, Denise, like put on some merch, support your team. You know what I mean? They need
exactly. But no, it's just, and then what I hate too about football season
superstitions.
Yes, because this is what's happened. There's been times where I'll be in my room or something, whatever, and then I'll go out and he'll be like, wow, the second you came out, they're losing now. And I'm like, the fuck, I didn't even know they were winning. And all of a sudden it's my fucking fault. I walked out of the room and now it's my fault the team is losing. What? And then he'll be like, go over there. And I'm like,
see?
Oh. I'm like, this is so rude.
Sports fans are so funny because it'd be like that.
It's crazy out there, man. I'm just trying to walk around my house and live my life.
Damn.
Infamous Raider Loco says, I already read that one. My apologies. We got Stoke Your Short and Bald Get Some Hoes says, I'm watching Brawl Out. Fuck wrestling for losers. Wait, did I say that right?
Brawl Out. Like brawl. Remember they announced the Brawl Out?
Fuck wrestling for losers?
Fuck wrestling for losers. Yeah.
Or is it like FUQ wrestling for losers?
That's fuck. Yeah.
All right, all right, all right. Thank you so much. We got Grapple Geekery who says, Luke, today's guest, and Jimmy are bald, so you too. Oh, that's where it's at. Well, no, technically, I'm not
Bald
on
boys.
until like 2 weeks from now, so the next person has to be bald too.
Oh, you're gonna stop the bald boys thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop the
Mhm.
bald boys trend. Sorry. Or I could get like a balding cap and just show it up with like a
You
balding cap.
could. What's her name? Sabrina Carpenter. She did the bald feud or
Yeah.
whatever. Hmm.
Yeah, maybe
Hmm.
I can do that.
Hmm.
Thank you, Grapple Geekery. We got Hassan Batla here who says, I'm an old TNA fan, so I wanted Josh Alexander to get the title shot. He seems content with his role. Also, Harley and Chris teasing women's tag titles. Eyes, eyes, eyes. Yeah, I thought Josh Alexander was gonna be like in bigger roles, like right when he came into AEW, but it does kind of seem like he's sort of chill where he's at the moment in the Don Callis family.
Yeah, I think he's locked into a role player. Like you kind of know your positioning. AEW, especially for his type of wrestler, that's like a development wrestler, meaning that the fans want to see the journey. They want to be a part of this. They're not going to bring a guy's like somebody in his position and immediately spring him into the main event stuff. I think this is the way that you earn the not only the fans but the office's goodwill is you go out there like he's been doing, just having great matches. He's a part of like multi-man matches with the Don Callis family, and he always really does his part. Like what he was doing today of kind of taking the lead, being the guy, being the veteran kind of worker there is what's going to get him to prominence. So I think if he continues to do this and be the person that he's being, eventually he'll get to the position he should be in.
Thank you, Sam Batla. Alrighty, so we mentioned earlier kind of what the chaos was that kicked off Dynamite in the first place. So we got to see, which was so funny because we didn't even get a conclusion to this, but
No.
we got to see Darby go out there, take out Wheeler Yuta. Then we see the Death Riders go out there and then the Ops run out there, Willow Nightingale. I mean, this
Yep.
turns into a giant melee. Everyone's brawling, everyone's going out at it. But this ends up where we get to the backstage area, and Darby Allin ends up putting Gabe Kidd, who was also out there, into a body bag. He gets attached to a chain that's attached to the truck, and Darby gets in the truck and drives off. And we literally see his body legit be in this body bag, and he's driven off like pounds, pounds, pounds. Bro, we didn't hear any updates on Gabe Kidd.
Not a word.
Even when Darby came back later on in the show, there was no word, no update, no sight of Gabe Kidd. What is happening here?
When they were setting it up, Denise, I was screaming like, "Somebody come help! We're security." What I didn't think they were gonna do, because Darby's teased this a couple times. Like,
I
I'm
knew
gonna
they were
drag
gonna
this
do it.
motherfucker. He did
The
it with
chain set me off.
he did it with Wheeler Yuta, but it was just a little ruse. This time, when he's putting him in the bag, I'm like, okay, there's a chain, there's a truck. Like, there's no way they're gonna do this. So when he starts doing it, and like you said, he starts out a little slow, and you're like, okay, this is pretty okay. But by the time he got to like the end of the roadway, he was going like at a high speed. You can see dust and smoke coming up. I'm like, yo, this is Gabe Kidd's dead. And so throughout the whole episode, no mention of like, oh, Gabe Kidd, like we found him on the side of the road. He's in the hospital. He dead. Like nothing. They were just like, he went off and we don't know anything. Darby showed up again without him. So I'm to assume, Denise, that he dead somewhere.
Yeah, no one gave a shit, by the way.
Nobody cared. The Death
Literally.
Riders, they went on with their lives. They started working matches. They just started going about their day.
It's so funny to me that happened. But what this tells me though is that Gabe Kidd was the one that had balls to actually do it.
That's a fact. Yeah.
Nobody else had the balls to do that stunt, but Gabe Kidd did. So I give him kudos, man.
That's a jackass ass stunt right there to start the show. But I love the energy of this, Denise. At one point, Willow showed up out of nowhere. They're brawling. The ops. Hook was out there. That kind of played into a story that was told later in the day. But something about Darby Allin and the energy that he brings to the show, Denise, was greatly missed. Like you see now, like it's like, oh, you need this element as a part of Dynamite, whether it be here at the beginning of the show or like he did last week. It's like whatever his part plays into this, it's like a good kind of anchor for the Dynamite show, and we're gonna need this energy kind of going forward. I thought it was, I don't know, like when Hangman Adam Page came out later in the night, I was like, oh, that's not as big as a pop that I thought he would get. I don't know what's going on there, but I was like, the energy around Darby Allin right now, I don't know what this means. I don't
Well,
know
that's
if,
because who's Hangman Page feuding with right now? He just finished the
yeah.
feud with MJF. What is he doing?
I don't know if I'm like hinting at maybe Darby should have been the one. No, that Hangman moment
No,
was so
no, no. We
great.
can't. No, 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 no. Let's
But
not think. No, 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 no.
the energy around Darby is crazy right now. That's all I'm saying.
Yes. And I told you, Reg, I told you that was going to happen. I said it like 1,000 fucking times on this show. I said,
Yeah.
when Darby comes back, he is going to be like even bigger than he was before. They don't got anybody on the show like Darby.
They don't. Yeah.
However, you couldn't wait for Darby to come back. Hangman was the guy.
Yes.
Hangman was the moment. Hangman was everything.
Mhm.
Now, the problem is, who's he feuding with?
That's the thing, because that's kind of the vibe. When I was like, oh, it still was a good reception. Like the crowd likes him, but I was thinking it's because he does, not that he doesn't have anything, but it's like there's nobody right there immediately. I think they established it today with Kyle Fletcher and some of the Don Callis guys, but when he was feuding with Ospreay, or when he was feuding with Swerve, or when he was feuding with Moxley, it felt like a sense of urgency, and there's not really a sense of urgency around him right now.
No, there's not. So he's just out there like in these multi-man matches, and that's kind of about it. And I mean, he just finished the stuff with MJF, although I still feel like they could circle back to that and continue that. Yeah. But yeah, actually, now that I think about it, we didn't even see MJF this week. We didn't see him last week either, did we?
They played like a promo last week.
Okay, so we haven't seen MJF like in person in a minute. So maybe once we get back to that, we can kind of pick up where we left off. Because other than that, I think we need bigger, stronger heels for Hangman.
I just want it to be like, when you're the world champion, everyone's after you. Like, I want it to be like, I always relate it to, people think I'm doing a bit like the way that the WWE 24/7 title was. Like, I feel like fools should be coming out of trash cans, like from behind. Like, there should be, you're the world champion, I want that fucking belt. Like, people should be on his ass. And like, that's not really the vibe. You know what I mean? Like, the goal of being a wrestler in this company is to get that championship, and there should be more people like, I want to fucking win that belt. And it's not really, those vibes aren't happening right now.
No, it just feels like Hangman's on cruise control.
Yeah, and it's not his fault.
Hopefully we pick up on that. We got Stoke, you're short and bald, get some host, says TK better sign GK to AEW after that body bag drop. Oh, Gabe Kidd. Yes.
Oh, Gabe
body
Kidd.
bag drop. Yeah. I was like, who the hell's GK? Gabe Kidd. I mean, what's his deal? Gabe Kidd's deal.
He's still in New Japan right now. I don't know how long it's locked in, but that's still happening right now. Their deals usually run January to January. That's like just how their bits go. Like in January, his deal could be up. That's a big possibility going here. I mean, Denise, if you're trying to earn your keep, or like show the boss that you'll do, like, hey, yeah, I'll do it, drag me behind the truck, I'm down for anything.
Just a heads up, you're only allowed to be on this post show if you get dragged in a body bag. All right, or else I'm replacing you with Phil. Okay,
see, Gabe Kidd set a different precedent.
I'm gonna put you versus Phil. Whoever's willing to go in the body bag is the official co-host of the Dynamite post show now.
Phil is not gonna want to be in that body bag, that's for sure. So you're gonna have to find another person besides the two of us, because I am not dragging me. But yeah, I mean, if you want to kiss up to the boss, Denise, get dragged behind a truck, right? You know?
I mean, I'll pop. Hey, somebody get dragged behind. I'll pop. I'll be like, you know what? He's earned it. Come on board. Get a DWO hat.
Straight up.
So funny. Oh my gosh. Ron Stollop here says, shave my head and drag me in a body bag. You see, Raj, people are willing to take your spot.
They are. Get the head shaved and everything. That's crazy.
Yeah, head shaved and body bag. And you got to do it in a white t-shirt.
I'm chill.
All right, we got Mercedes Monet versus Alex Windsor here today. A fun freaking match. Reg, go off. I just know you want to talk about your goat.
Ooh-wee. When I think about Mercedes matches, Denise, and what she's done since coming in AEW, these are the most fun for me. The ones that feel like a fight. Alex Windsor just has that spirit of like, it's not going to be a dance. We're not going to be in there trading hold for holds. It's going to come at that point. But really, I'm going to knock your fucking head off. Mercedes, you brought it up in the watch along, Denise. She was working kind of a different style. Like she was using her strength in this. She had a power bomb on the apron at one point. She was really like trying to match the kind of energy that Alex Windsor brings. I love Alex Windsor kind of focusing on the sharpshooter, trying to take Mercedes' legs out. But other than that, just using gigantic power moves. At one point, she hit a pop-up power bomb that was disgusting. There's a bunch of there was like a Blue Thunder bomb that she hit. It felt like a struggle. It felt like a fight. There's counters in the match. It's blow for blow, bar for bar. Alex Windsor has shown the fans that what type of energy she brings to the match, and the fans have really taken to that. There's a point in this where like there was a really like 2.9999 pin attempt from Alex Windsor where I was like, oh shit, she almost won this fucking match. But Mercedes, the best thing about her is she adapts to any wrestler style. Like the reason that she has so many championships is because she goes to these promotions and she adapts to whatever that champion style is, and she figures out how to beat them. That's what happened today. Alex Windsor came and kind of tornadoed her. She was like, oh shit, there's things come from all angles. I don't know what's going on here. We're fighting outside. We're rolling outside with this sharpshooter submission. Windsor's utilizing this Bret Hart technique of locking it in while we're on the ground. Like, what the fuck am I going to do to counteract that? But she's so great at counters and this kind of elusive wrestling that's how she gets out of it. And that's kind of how she got out of it today. They went with the statement maker and navigating around the ring, and Alex kept getting out of it, but then Mercedes kept blocking it on. It's like a persistent, like, the dog is locked on you, but you can also get him off, but this dog isn't going to stop. Mercedes is at that position where you're going to need everything in the world to beat her. She's got so many championships. Dynamite. It felt right seeing her in the 2300 arena. This match was awesome. Great way to start the show. The energy and fight you thought Alex Windsor was going to bring to this, she actually brought to this.
Yeah, and Alex Windsor's mate, she's climbing her way up there. She's starting to
fire.
get people familiar with her. She's doing a good job. She's doing just fine.
Yeah.
With big moment though, we had the return of Riho, who we haven't seen in a really long time. And it's so funny because when instantly both you and I, Reg, I think we thought the same thing, which was, how shit, Riho and Mercedes is gonna be fire because they are both, and the way that I described it earlier in the watch along was they're both very scrappy, right? They try to find ways to take out the other opponent. They're very similar in that they're very petite girls, and I'm curious to see what that matchup is gonna look like. Reg, you and I recently went back and watched old AEW shows, which by the way we do on Patreon every Thursday, and we rewatched Riho and Nyla Rose, and I think that was so fresh in my mind that when Riho came back, I felt more excited to see her back. That I don't think I would have been as excited had I not gone back and rewatched some of her old stuff just to remember what she kind of does out there.
Yeah, no, you're correct. As soon as I saw Riho, she was coming back, and I was like, oh, she's confronting Mercedes. I was like, oh my God, like this is, like I said on the watch along, potential to be one of Mercedes' best matches in this run. Like that's the type of thing that Riho brings to this. They are similar in like the way that Riho is kind of like a heart fight from behind type baby face. Mercedes is almost the same as that, but in heel form. A lot of times when Mercedes matches, she's fighting from behind. There's a bigger person than her, kind of dragging her, fighting her, and she has to use her willpower, some heel tactics, and all these things to get back into it. And that's Riho to a T. So for her to come back, and fans are always going to be behind her because of what Denise described. Like the company started off of things that Riho helped create for this women's division. So to see her and Mercedes, they announced the match officially for All Out. And if they're given some good time, which I know they will be, they're going to knock it out of the park. I'm super excited with their stature and kind of how they stand. Like this is one of the most exciting matches I've seen for Mercedes in this company with the homegrown beginning star in a while.
Oh man, I look forward to seeing that at All Out. By the way, we got Stoke your short here who says Gabe Kidd was found behind a dumpster by the arena. By the way, I was looking to see if this was legit or not, but I didn't see anyone actually say he was found in a dumpster. Right? No, I don't see anybody actually saying he was found in a dumpster, so I'm
Silly.
gonna take it as a joke then.
Hmm.
All right, thank you so much to Stoke Your Short and Bald and Can Get Some Hose for sending this in. All right, let's go ahead and press on. Mark Briscoe, Don Callis, he goes out there and is talking his shit. You know, Mark Briscoe, he just goes off on the mic. He's gonna get a match with Kinosuke Takeshita at Collision this Saturday. That should be good. But we kind of had some little mic work there with a little confrontation with him and Don Callis and his guys that led to a match with Mark Briscoe and Lance Archer. And Mark Briscoe got the W, and which was the right call considering he's going into that match with Takeshita. What stood out to you during this, Reg?
Maybe there's such a connection with this arena and what Mark Briscoe and his brother Jay did here that I was just like, damn, this, like what Mark said of like this inspired us to become who we are, and thinking of the history that they have kind of attached to what this promotion, what this arena and what the promotion in it did for professional wrestling. That just means a lot. Mark Briscoe, I think anytime he brings like that emotional element, like if me and my brother were here type vibes, thing would be type of different. Always like really brings us in. Don Callis, again, we talked about it earlier, the family. I think what he represents great. Him as heel against anybody is just working out really well. The thing that I liked about the match with Lance Archer is, one, happy to see Lance Archer get a match, just because, like I always say, he has a fan base in AEW that they love him. They're nothing what, no matter what he's do, they're going to be behind him. So to see him get an opportunity is great. I loved his choke slam based offense. He did like 4 or 5 different choke slam variations on Mark Briscoe, on the apron, on the steps, in the ring. Like there's so many different ones that he dropped him with. And I thought that was a good way to kind of, his offense is just cool because the chokeslam is a cool maneuver. Mark Briscoe using his fighting spirit to get behind, like a big guy's not going to really do anything to stop him, hitting the froggy bow to end it. He needed this win going into this match with Takeshita this weekend. I think that match is going to be fire on Collision. They'll be given time. Takeshita coming off the G1 and got something to prove to the AEW fan base. I think it's going to mean something.
Yeah, dude. It's funny that you said that about Lance Archer always having that little bit of a fan base there. I feel like I'm with that.
You are.
That because I thought for the longest time that Lance Archer was going to be one of the biggest stars in AEW. I thought that like right in the beginning when he got there, right? And I couldn't have been more wrong, by the way. But it just felt like I had seen so much good stuff from Lance Archer. And when I think back to his best work in AEW, I think back to one match in particular, and it was that Texas Death match with him and Hangman. I don't think he's done anything better than that on AEW, at least not that I remember. So apologies if I forgot anything else. That was really great.
I think he just kind of established himself as a role player too. Like he knows when his spots are, he knows where to put. He would love the opportunity to be the main event and to be the world champion and all that, but I think he knows what his place is, and I'm not mad at it. Doing matches like this today is why they keep him around.
Okay. Also, by the way, Stoke Your Short says it's a dead body joke. Okay. Yep. I was a little confused on that one, but we got it. Crazy 101 says WWE, we got AJ Lee. AEW, we got Riho Cinema.
Listen,
guys, y'all are wilding out there.
We love to see ladies back regardless of what this is.
It's so funny to me, though. It's just so funny to me. Thank you, Crazy 101. All right, Brodido and the Death Riders, with Brodido getting the win here. Bandido pinning Yuta. Oh my gosh, there was that one moment when I thought they were actually going to have Yuta pin Bandido.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was about to riot, bro. I was about
you were
to riot.
so mad. I've never seen Denise like, she paused and she was like, if this is really going to happen, I'm going to be so angry. And she was immediately like, I was going to be so mad. Yeah, that was a crazy boss finish right there.
Yeah, I bought into that for a second, but no, thankfully they didn't. They had a fun little matchup here, and I was cool with what they did. But yeah, the entire time I just kept thinking, wow, no one gives a shit about Gabe Kidd because he's not, he's not out there and all of that. No one said anything. But the other thing that I was thinking about was just how Bandido really feels like after he's done with the Brodido team, like him and Brody, dude, we were talking earlier about spots needing filled now that Swerve and Will is gone. Those two guys, man, they can be those guys.
Bandido has, I'll say with the kids, some aura right now. When you see him, you're just like, damn, this fool. Before he even starts wrestling, you're like, damn, this fool. What is this guy? Like, why I see something about him, and then he starts wrestling, and you're like, oh shit, this guy is a special human being. He works. It's like this is a superhero. Like you think of some wrestlers and some people as like if they made a movie on this guy, like that would be something like that's how Bandido feels. He feels kind of like Darby Allin, kind of like Will Ospreay of like when you see this guy, it's going to be special. It's different than everything you've seen on the show today. It's going to be different on everything you see after. Like he's locked into something right now. A lot of people are calling him Wrestler of the Year. And you saw today, like the way that he builds his matches, the way that like he establishes what's going to happen, like it's like a build up to his big spots. It's a build up to him firing up, a build up to his babyface comebacks. Like he gets the crowd in the palm of his hand. Then he does some crazy feat of strength, whether it be like the moonsault fall away slam or the 21 plex or a single hand gorilla press slam, like any kind of crazy thing like that to get him back into the match is so crazy. Then he's paired with Brody King, Denise, who the fans are also very fond of, and he has like certain moves that just wow the crowd and destroy people, and he'll come with the cannonball or a power bomb into a pile driver, and you're just like, this guy's fucking mean. They work out so well as a team. Them doing that false finish, and the Death Riders could potentially beat them, so I think that even enhanced it a little bit more. Like they could have potentially been the tag team champions, but it's not that time at all for Brody to lose this. They need to continue to do matches like this on a weekly basis where they just go in with another two guys and they just tear it up and they build to this 15 to 20 minute match and Bandido goes off and they win.
Excuse me. I'm like Bandido, Brody King. I was
Mhm.
trying to get to Brody King.
That's it.
Brody King he was 100% out chopping Claudio. Like Claudio
Yes.
was trying to give it to him. He was not matching that exact same energy. Brody just completely out chopped him. I thought that was a highlight. I did love the highlights between Claudio and Bandido as well, because we were talking about Bandido being a strong boy. So is Claudio Castagnoli. So seeing that whole scenario play out, I thought was cool. I was wondering if he was going to get Claudio in that long vertical suplex, but he didn't. It was very brief, but he didn't actually go for it. I was waiting for it, but he didn't do it. So those were a couple of the highlights of the match, but overall it was very, very enjoyable. And again, I'm just excited to see the rise of Brodido. We got Stoke, you're short and bald and get some hose. Says Roxanne was an archaeologist. She used pop rocks.
Pop rocks. Gotcha. Pop rocks.
Pop rocks. Pop rocks.
Pop rocks.
Thank you, Stoke. We got Issa David here who says All Out will be on HBO Max without paying, ? Long work day, so just catching up. So you still have to pay. So if you have HBO Max, you pay for your monthly subscription and you still have to pay $39.99 to get the actual show. So let me map this out, Reg. So HBO Max, pay-per-views, subscription plus $39.99. Amazon Prime, you pay your Prime account and then you pay how much for the pay-per-view?
I don't know. Is the Prime one $19.99 or $29.99?
No, I thought that one was way more. I thought that one was like $39.99.
The Prime one? Well, how much is that? I think how much is a subscription? Because I pay $7.99 for Max, which means I'm almost at $50 if I'm getting the pay-per-view.
I don't know how much I pay for Max, and I don't know how much I pay for Prime. I have both of those, but I don't know how much I pay for those.
Yeah.
I don't even look.
I mean, my Max could be the $9.99. I usually get the Black Friday deal and they drop it or whatever.
Okay. So everybody here in our chat, by the way, is saying that Prime is $49.99.
Oh, okay.
So it's
It's the
$10 more. It's pretty much the same price though, but I do kind of feel like it's kind of, I don't know. Do you think it's more worth it to get it on Prime or to get it on Max? Because to me, it sounds like Prime sounds like pretty good, even though it's a little bit more.
Well, Prime, I honestly I don't have Prime, so I don't know. It sounds like they're either the same or one's a couple dollars more.
Right. And then I know Triller, which is what we use because we do the VPN stuff. So Triller is $24.99, I believe. But mind you, we use the VPN, so we're playing the VPN price.
Oh, I got you. And that's going to that's going to continue, right? Because it doesn't.
Yeah, that's going to continue. Overseas. As my understanding, that overseas. Yeah. So that's kind of how I'm doing it. So I'm not paying Prime nor HBO Max because those two options are just much more pricier.
I think people are just kind of under the impression that, and AEW didn't say it's going to be cheaper, but they were just under the impression that it
No,
was going to be
AEW
cheaper.
did say it was
Did
going to
they?
be cheaper. Yes.
Oh, I don't
When
remember that.
AEW first made and I know, I remember this because I was fucking making a whole ass video on it. So when AEW first announced that they were on that Variety article that they were going to HBO Max, remember when they made the big announcement?
Yeah.
They said that AEW pay-per-views would be there at a discounted rate.
I remember that.
Later on in the year. So
Mhm.
technically they did give a discounted rate in comparison to the price on Prime Video.
Yeah,
But
it's semantics though.
exactly. So that's why a lot of people keep bringing up that, hey, what happened to the
Okay.
discount for HBO Max?
I remember that.
Because it was mentioned in that earlier press release.
Yeah, I do remember that now, but it just kind of feels like it just evened out pretty much. It's like you're still paying $50 for a pay-per-view at the end of the day.
Yeah, essentially, yes, yeah. So, I mean, that's where we're at. I guess pick your poison, whatever you want. HBO Max, Prime, VPN. Dude, all of
VPN,
these fucking services between WWE and AEW
Stephanie McMahon.
are just like, oh my God. Reg, I'm getting to the point where I don't remember what show is on what platform.
There is also Watch Wrestling. You can get
Reg, stop it.
Whoa. We
Reg,
have to account
stop
for
it.
all of our friends. You can still watch this.
Reg, stop it.
Listen, I
right.
used to be a pirate, and shout out to the pirates.
Reg,
right?
you're on the air. Stop talking.
Arrgh.
Okay, you know what? If the feds come and get you, Reg, you're done. I
I
tried
said
to stop
used
you from
to.
talking.
You can't get me for
Okay?
watching WrestleMania 10 years ago. We're done.
Dude, I don't think there's like I don't think there's gonna like, I'm pretty sure that if you admit to like piracy, they'll come and get you.
I ain't gonna do shit. I mean, yes, I'm just kidding. I didn't do anything. I've never pirated anything a day in my life.
I'm trying to save you here, Reg. Okay, that's what a good friend does. If you guys don't see Reg back here next week, the feds took him.
They got me.
All right. Thank you so much, Stacey David, by the way, for sending that in. We got Envy the Engineer here who says, I saw a Ring of Honor pay-per-view at this arena in 2014 or 2015 and somehow sat next to Briscoe's dad and he just kept yelling, chicken. And it was awesome. That sounds like a really cool experience, by the way.
That is Papa Briscoe to the T, and that sounds exactly like it would be. Man, it's so bittersweet and sad still that Jay they weren't to be able to be the full Briscoe brothers on AEW TV because Mark has been doing so amazing, and you're like, damn, they would have both killed it so much. It's so unfortunate.
By the way, thank you so much, Envy Engineer. He also says it's the same price as all of the other streaming services, but Max lets you stream to multiple devices.
Okay, yep, that's a benefit right there.
Okay.
And Max lets you keeps it. They announced today you'll get to keep it for 6 months. I don't know how Prime does it.
I have no idea. We got Jeroy J who says he read that Max is supposed to have good pictures and sound, which might get another 20 out of him. I have no idea. I actually didn't see that, so I don't know.
Because somebody was like, what happens after the 6 months? I'm thinking after the 6 months, then they just put it on the platform for everybody that has it. You know what I mean? Like then it'll just go to the archives and then you don't have to, it won't be a pay-per-view anymore. Yeah.
Right. We got us the Envy the Engineer says that Prime limits to one device live. That's
terrible. Okay. That's a thing for a lot of people.
Yeah, because let's say someone in your house wants to watch too, but you're not necessarily watching together.
Yeah.
That's a thing, sometimes people just want to watch in different rooms,
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where we're at with all of that. So alrighty. Arnold Nicholson, by the way, says YouTube lets you keep AEWs for 30 days.
For 30 days.
I didn't even know they were on YouTube TV. They're on YouTube TV for pay-per-views.
They've been on YouTube TV for a while.
Oh shit. I didn't even realize that. I was only thinking Max, Triller, Prime.
Yeah, they've been on
all of that.
YouTube pay-per-view for a minute now.
Wow. Okay. Well, literally, you can pick whatever you want at this point, and it doesn't seem like it's too big of a difference. So yeah. Alrighty. I think that's basically our show, Reg. That's it.
Mhm.
We kind of covered most of the ground. Collision this Saturday: John Moxley versus Daniel Garcia, Mark Briscoe versus Kinosuke Takeshita. We're gonna see an 8-women's tag match: Timeless Tony Storm, Mina Shirakawa, Harley Cameron, and Chris Statlander versus Megan Bayne and Triangle of Madness, Thekla, Sky, and Julia. And then
Yes.
FTR versus Adam Priest and a question mark. By the way, that was made today when there was a pull apart and Adam Priest got into it with FTR and pissed them off, and that's where we're at.
Yeah, FTR is locked in this feud with Cope and Christian. They terrorized a bunch of looks like Ring of Honor talent or people that are maybe going to work the show here, and they pile drive Jordan Oliver, and Adam Priest got involved. So maybe Adam Priest is going to pick Jordan Oliver this weekend, and that'll be a really good match.
Hey, did you know this? Is this true? Andy Nerschel here says if you get the Ring of Honor app for $10 a month, the pay-per-views of all AEW shows go on there eventually. What?
Really?
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that. Mm-mm.
So then what was I doing waiting around for Max?
Maybe it's an overseas one too, because sometimes the overseas stuff works different.
Okay, interesting stuff. We got
it's too much. We talked a lot about money, Denise, of these like that adds up, like fucking VPNs and Netflix and Max. Like, there's a lot of money, dude.
Reg, I have everything.
Fuck.
Not on my phone, but I have everything.
Dude, that's so much money.
The only apps I don't have are Paramount and Stars and Apple.
You're
like
up
the
to
3 main ones.
Are you up to $100 in streaming services?
Oh, I have to be, because I have Netflix, I have Amazon, I have Max, I have Hulu, ESPN, New Japan World, TNA Plus, Peacock.
Yep.
Fuck, I can't even remember the other ones.
You said Disney?
Disney, I have Disney.
Yep. There has to be at least one more. And that's about $100 right there that you just described.
Oh, and I have DirecTV.
Right.
What am I doing?
We were supposed to be gone from cable. That we were like, fuck cable. It's $100 a month. I'm gonna move. But we're still paying $100 a month. What the hell?
Jesus Christ, what am I doing?
Dude, you just named so many streaming services.
Yo, and the wrestling ones too. TNA
and the
Plus,
wrestling ones. Yeah. Right. Yes. And you didn't name, like, do you have Apple Music? Do you have Spotify? Like, there's
I have Spotify. Yeah, dude, I'm on the family plan.
just giving up dollars. Who wants money? Here, you take it.
Oh man, I want to cry. And I pay for a VPN too. Oh my god.
Dude, you're gonna be up to $200 just a month.
Crazy shit. All right, we got Stoke here who says whether it's VPN Max or VSPN, just get a VPN, y'all.
Get a VPN.
Seriously, at this point, yeah, that's my plan. Jesus. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm reading what everyone's saying on what they have for all of everything.
It's crazy.
It really, really is. And you know what pisses me off? When I want to watch something and they're like, oh, it's not available on this app. You have to have a subscription to this app. And I'm like, man, fuck you already. I already have so many goddamn subscriptions and the one fucking show I want to watch ain't available on the 20 that I've got.
Nothing makes me want to punch my TV more than when you're on a streaming service and they're like, it's not available here. Go get this. I'm like, bitch, I can see it right now. Play it for me. It makes me so mad.
It happens all the time. All the time. It makes me so mad. We got a super chat here from our Patrick Moore who says for Reg to stay out of pirate jail accounts.
Let's go. Yeah, I'm gonna need some bail money. I was talking crazy. I'm just kidding, you guys. I am not
gonna bail you out, Reg.
Come on. I don't want to go in there. I don't want to go in the hole.
You're gonna go in the hole and you're gonna stay there. All right, because I ain't gonna bail you out. And unless you got some rich friends that can bail you out, I don't know what's gonna happen to you.
Tony Khan, help. I need help, Tony Khan. You better call Tony Khan, Denise.
What if I tell him you pirated AEW? Then what?
No, don't tell him that. Not that.
He's gonna be like, nah, keep him in there.
Yeah, call Tony. I need help.
Thank you so much, R. Patrick Moore, for the generous super chat. Seriously. Thanks, all right, we got some money for your bail, Reg. So it's looking up.
It won't be too expensive.
Alrighty, everyone. Well, that's it for us here today. Friendly reminder that Patreon every Thursday, Reg and I are streaming there on top of a lot of additional content in case you guys want to go check that out. It's patreon.com/Denise Salcedo. And then also, if you haven't already, I have brand new interviews with Lex Luger, Karrion Kross, Ron Simmons. I'm dropping another one tomorrow. And by the way, if you don't like to wait, all of those interviews are already up and have been up on Patreon. But if you want to wait, then wait for them for you on YouTube. So we have another one that's dropping tomorrow. Check them out, give them some love, drop some comments, guys. It really helps. This is a slow period right now for content creators. Numbers are down everywhere because people are getting back to school, different rhythms. So every support, every single view counts right now a tenfold until we get back into regular season. So thank you guys so much for your support. Reg, where can people follow and support you?
At Righteous Reg and all your things, righteousreg.bandcamp.com. Every Saturday, I'm on Grapsity Podcast with Phil Lindsay. Every Wednesday, I'm with Denise. Also on Thursday, Denise and I are on the Patreon. So catch us tomorrow on that.
Seriously. All right, youtube.com. You're already here. youtube.com/Denise Salcedo. Click that subscribe button, and we will catch you back here on the next one. I will be back for Friday. We got SmackDown, and it's a big one. Bye, everyone.